guys, to another Tales of Middle-earth. As you know, I'm your channel host, Adam, and I have again with me,
Will.
And today, somebody new.
Zach.
Zach, how's it going?
Pretty good.
So we just met at the Ottawa Convention.
Yes, we did.
The Capital City Bloodbath, or for the Hobbit tournament, Desolation of Ottawa. And you're another fairly local guy to me.
Yeah.
I love it. These guys are coming out of the woodwork. It's awesome. And so today we are actually starting off the Whispers in the North narrative campaign. What it is basically we all have good battle companies, and it is a narrative campaign stretched over many missions where our companies, battle companies, combine or get together to sort of take on a threat from Angmar, approaching Angmar. Will, you're playing Rivendell,
yep.
Which is sort of the key faction for this because there has been a call of a council by by Elrond of Rivendell, calling out for allies in defense of the attacks from Angmar, or the rumblings that Angmar is stirring during the War of the Ring. And Zach, you're playing?
Durin's folk.
Durin's folk! What are they doing here? I guess they just come to the aid to fight a good cause.
The best cause.
Drink some ale. You know,
Yep.
like the worst ale in town, like the sign says.
The worst ale, the best ale.
So, and I'm doing Thranduil's Halls with, well, Mirkwood Rangers and stuff. Eventually, is my hope, if they all survive. So,
Get there.
so start off this sort of setting. What it is Elrond has put out a plea to the other free folk of Middle-earth to come to his aid, as he has already sent out a host of Rivendell knights in search of the attacks from Angmar up north. When they didn't respond, he has sent out another company of warriors to go return with any information from the first Rivendell knights going out in search, and then has called forth the alliance of the dwarves and other elves, and then from there the battle will happen. So we'll show you the factions for today's match, which is Rescue, and we'll show you the board and get right into it. Here is the evil battle company or warband for today's match. So Will's going to be playing the evil side for today's narrative campaign. Sorry, Zach is going to play the evil side. Wow! For today's narrative campaign or narrative mission. And what it is the lingering Angmar force that slaughtered the Rivendell knights that were first sent to investigate the Whispers in the North. So we have 2 specters, 3 wild wargs. We're just using the Fenrisian wolves from 40k because I like that they're fully furred and covered. And then 1 orc back there. He's the pale orc. Yes, a very pale orc. That's because I painted him up with white skin to be a mutant for another game, because I only had the 1. But he is an orc, and he has a bow, and he's the leader of this ragtag group of Angmar remnants. So Will is playing the forces of Rivendell, and these guys are all Noldorian exiles, or is it Noldorin? Noldorin exiles. So Will, why don't you walk us through what you have here?
So we have Elwing, the general of my army.
Okay.
With Edrahil, with a bow.
Okay.
And Galdor,
Okay.
who does not have the spear, but he has throwing daggers.
Okay.
And then down here, we have Cuthalion here, Maglin,
Okay.
and this one has throwing daggers, a bow on Cuthalion, and then finally Angrod
Awesome.
is right there.
And what is he?
Throwing daggers.
With throwing daggers. No spear?
No spear. All of
Alright.
them have throwing daggers except the 2 bowmen.
Alright, sounds good. And so I'll show you the board next. The board has been set up and everybody has deployed. So this here is the 3x3 board. We decided to just go 3x3 just due to the fact that 4x4 with these few models just doesn't make a lot of sense, you know. So first off, with Rescue, the good faction has to, or the defenders, I should say, have to divide their team into two. So one hero and half of the warriors, and they have to be set up within 6 inches of the center objective, which is this standard bearer from the Rivendell Knights with packages. And then the evil side, or the attackers, does the exact same thing, which is these guys here. And because they normally have to be within 12 inches of the 4x4 board, we're actually doing 6 inches, just so that way the guys aren't right on each other turn 1. After that, in Rescue, what you do is at the end of turn 1, you have to roll for each individual model, so these 3 guys and the 3 that are over there, to come on from reserves. And they can either come on from your table edge or from the sides, based off the roll of the chart. The game itself, it goes until one person is at 33% of their starting numbers, so both of these guys have 6 guys in their warbands, and they must have, at the same time as being at one person being at 33%, they have to have control of that center objective, which means they have to have more models within 3 inches of that center objective. So, we'll come back with priority for turn 1 next. Here we go with priority for turn number 1. Who will have it? Will it be the Force of Angmar or the Forces of Rivendell? And it is going to Rivendell with the Blackfyre Productions 6. Yep. Go Blackfyre dice! So this is the movement for turn number 1. What did you do, Will?
Just moved up to big base contact so I could shoot over the shoulders and that.
Okay. And so it was just her that moved?
Her and the bowman.
And the bowman, alright. And then Zach, what did you do?
I charged the wargs
Yep.
right on in, so
Absolutely.
engage as quickly as possible,
Yep.
and the orc is following behind, just a little bit slower.
Alright, so we are at the end of turn 1 movement phase, so these guys do get to roll for each of their models now for coming on. So we'll just go back and forth from one side to the other and go from there. So, Will, who's going to be first? You're
Cuthalion.
Alright, so on a 1 or 2 it doesn't come in. On a 3 to 4, it comes in on your board edge, which is this side, and 5 and 6, you can choose your board edge or the 2 flanks. So let's see what happens. It is a 6, so it can come on either flank, and you can shoot as per normal when you do come on as well. And he is deployed here. And these guys being the Noldorian Exiles. Noldorin. Holy crap, I'm bad. They do have the 8-inch movement, so we move 4 inches on from the board edge. Alright, up next is
Angrod.
And she is, or he.
He
is going to be coming on where? Let's see. Either flank! That's 2 6s in a row. We'll see where he comes. And he deploys right up to support his brethren over there. And lastly but not least is
Galdor.
And let's see where he comes on.
A 1.
Does not arrive this turn. Zach now has 2 specters and a warg that he gets to roll for. So what are you going to roll for first?
I'm going to roll for the warg.
The warg. Let's see what you get. Does not arrive.
Okay.
Alright. Spectre number 1.
The elf spectre.
The elf spectre. Ooh, that's scary. So, rise from your board edge.
Okay.
And that spectre is just arriving through the pass. Lastly but not least, we have the other spectre here. Let's see where he goes. He can arrive on either flank or your board edge. And he arrives right beside that other spectre as the fog creeps into the battle. Going right into the shooting phase next, Will, you have priority, so what are you going to start off with first?
Start with the 2 throwing daggers right here.
Okay.
My leader did move, so it'll be a 4+ on the first one.
Okay. And who are you targeting?
The warg.
Okay. And it misses. And then next throwing dagger into
the
warg as well. Hits on a 4.
Needing a 5.
Needing a 5. Nothing. Yes. This elf bow all the way over here is targeting the Numenorian Spectre right there. It has moved, so you need 4s. It's a 6. Blackfyre Productions 6. Need 5s to wound it. Would have been a 6. Oh, there's a 2. Too bad that model's there. He's holding up that die for you. Over here, what is this guy's name? something or other.
Kuthalion.
Kuthalion is targeting the Numenorian Spectre over there as well. Needing 4s because he did move onto the board. That's a 1. Nothing. So there's no more shooting for this round, so we'll move into priority. Here we go, priority round 2. Who's it going to go to? And it goes to the elves. Going into the movement phase, Will does have priority, so he's going to charge into some wargs, but he has some throwing daggers first. What are you going to do?
So beginning here with this Wood Elf.
Yeah.
Charging into this warg on my left.
Okay.
The throwing dagger on a 4+.
Hits!
Needing a 5.
Let's see if he gets it. Oh, stop! Stop! Yeah, and that warg is dead, so he can charge into somebody else then, if he would like.
Doesn't have to, right?
And the Nolder in exile there, after slaying the one wild warg with a dagger, charged into the other one. Come back with the rest of movement next. During Zach's movement, what are you going to do with your specters here?
I'm going to cast a Fell Light upon that elf.
Okay, so it needs courage test. So your courage 5, which you make it 7, and then he gets to move as well, so you can move him up wherever you want.
Into the fight.
All right.
And then this Spectre is going to cast the Fell Light on that.
On to that Noldorn, and he's also good as well. Then you're going to move up, I'm assuming, like so. End of the movement phase now. This is what it looks like. We have the Fell Warg with 2, or the Wild Warg with 2 on them. Your Elwing
yeah.
with both the Orc as well as 1 Spectre on her, and then this Spectre is out in the middle of nowhere by himself. Starting with the person that has priority. And
Maglin.
Naglin?
Maglin.
Maglin. Let's see if he comes on. Yeah, on either flank or his board edge. We'll find out where he goes next. And he's charging his 8 inches up towards that Spectre. And looks like he might be in throwing dagger range. Wild Warg is Zach's last model to come onto the board. And he comes onto your table edge, but does have a 10-inch movement. Cannot charge, though.
Cannot charge.
Moving right along now to the shooting phase. The elves do have the advantage here because the forces of Angmar have no shooting capabilities, except for his 1 orc does have a bow. Yes. But, who are you going to start with?
I'm going to start with the throwing dagger.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into the Spectre.
Into the Spectre, alright. Needing a 4. That's a 1. That's a negative.
We'll do the
Over
bow.
Here. Yep.
Into that same Spectre.
Into the Spectre there. That's a 4. And then needing 5 to wounds. It's a 6. It does have a fate point because it is one of the 2 sergeants. So, can it ignore it on a 4+? It does. That wound is ignored. There's no more shooting, so we're going to move right along into combats. Will, where do you want to start?
Start with the Fell War.
I want to call a heroic action.
Oh, we got a heroic action here. Whoa. Zach, what are you doing?
I'm going to strike up.
You're going to heroic strike. Uh-oh. Are you going to contest?
Nope.
No? Alright. So, we're going to start with the Wild Warg here on 2. So
2 on the Wild Warg.
Yeah. You get a 3 highest. Oh, and the Wild Warg gets a 6. So he needs 4s to wound. Who are you going to try to wound?
He's going to strike at the guy with the bow.
The guy with the bow. Alright, needing 4s. And that guy is removed. Moving right along in the combats, we have the 2 main heroes fighting here.
Yep.
What does your heroic strike go up to with the Auric?
5.
Oh, it goes up to very high, higher than yours. And you have 2 dice. Can you get a 6 on either one of those? 5 highest. Can you get a 6? That's kind of cocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so re-roll that. That's definitely cocked. And it's a 1.
Oh, yes.
Alright, so you do move back. Let's see. So you need...
the Spectre strikes at their courage.
Yeah, so you need
he
5s
needs
on that.
4 on the other one.
So
then-
5 for the Spectre.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
And 4.
For the Orc.
Yes. It's a wound. You have a fate point. You still have a might point left too. And you're good with a 6. Where was that 6 earlier? So you are still around. Priority. Turn 3. Who's it going to go to? 2 and a 1 goes to the elves again. Woo! This model here is trying to climb up here to be within 3 inches of that objective and on the high ground, so he does climb up and does place him within 3 inches of the center objective. Over here, this elf, Galdorin, that's it, is charging into the wild warg. He's going to use his throwing dagger first. Misses, but does charge in. MacLeod over here is charging into the warg there. So, dagger first, hits. Can he wound on a 5? Oh, but he does get the charge. Woo! That was dicey. MacLeod here is charging into the Spectre. Throwing dagger first. Hits on a 4. Does he wound? Does he wound? No! Does not. They're hitting, but they're just bouncing off. And lastly, you have...
L-Wing.
L-Wing. Charging into...
Throwing at the Spectre.
At the Spectre, alright.
3, no.
No. No. And then charging into both.
To both.
End of the movement phase, this is what it looks like. Well, wild warg here tied up by 1, then 1-on-1 here. Then L-Wing's on those 2, then that wild warg's tied up. And this guy can't shoot, because he moved his full distance. And
yeah, and everyone's in combat.
And everybody is in combat. So, where are we going to start?
Let's start down here.
Alright, down here, 1-on-1. 6 for the elf. Can you capitalize? No. The wild warg gets pushed back. Moving along.
The Spectre.
Okay. The elf gets 5 to the 1.
Into 5.
There's a 6, but it's cocked. No. Ooh.
We'll go to this wild warg over here.
Wild warg over there, okay. Wild warg gets a 4. Goes to the wild warg. Can he slay another elf? No, he cannot. That elf flesh is not tasty enough.
The final battle.
Yes. Any heroics? Obviously not, because you are saving that might point in case you need it. No! Oh, that's a cock 3. Can he get a 1? Oh! Fight value! Everybody gets a 1. Fight value goes to the elf and pushes him back. Who are you going to strike up against?
The Spectre.
The Spectre, alright. No. You can win, but you cannot kill. So we'll come back with initiative, or priority next. Here we go, priority, turn 4. And the elves get it again. We'll come back with movement next. Starting over here with Galdor, during the movement phase, he's going to charge into that wild warg and is trying to slay another one with a throwing dagger. So, misses with the 2, but he does charge in. Moving on down the line.
MacLeod.
MacLeod's going into that wild warg. Can he slay it? No!
He will charge.
He charges in.
Angrod.
Angrod. No.
No? Okay.
No. It's a 1, but charges into that Spectre.
Fine.
We've been forgetting about the terror test here on the Spectres. And you're good though, anyways. And getting in on them. And then.
I'll charge the Spectre, so a terror test.
Okay. Terror test, you're fine. Throwing dagger on the way in. Nothing. Oh man, none of these throwing daggers. Are you going into both too?
Into both.
Wow, that's risque. So no shooting. But we'll come back with combats next. Galdor over here is going to be starting off the combats up against a wild warg. So let's see what happens. Oh, the wild warg gets a 6. Can he retaliate? Oh, he can slay Galdor too. Is he one of your heroes? Does he have a fate point?
No, he does not.
No! Oh, Galdor is slain. Moving on along, where do you want to go to next?
We'll go down here to MacLeod.
Okay, MacLeod. MacLeod gets a 6. So, can you slay the wild warg? Get some revenge. No! Wild warg gets pushed back.
Finally, Angrod.
Angrod. Here we go. Oh, the Spectre gets it with a 5. Needs a 5 to slay. It's a 6!
Fate point?
Fate point. Nothing. So, wow. That is crazy. Elves are going down hard.
The game took a turn.
Yes. Lastly, last combat.
L-Wing.
L-Wing. With a might point left. Let's see. You get a 3. Oh, he can't even do it. Gets pushed back.
The Spectre is striking with the
5. Yep. Nope.
Oh.
And then the orc, the pale one, gets it. And that is not good. So with the forces of Angmar there slaying all those elves and taking them out of combat, the elves did get the victory. Rivendell has secured the evidence of the last assault up against the Rivendell Knights by the forces of Angmar. And they will be taking it back to Elrond to tell him exactly what they have found out. So we'll come back with the factions and see who survives, who gains what experience, and go from there. Starting off the sort of injuries for the people that were taken out of the game, we have 2 non-heroes that were slain. So, who do you want to roll for first?
Edrahil, the bowman.
Bowman, Edrahil. Roll a d6. Let's see what happens to him. He is dead. Dead. Edrahil is dead. Dead and gone. And moving on to...
Galdor.
Galdor, you want him to survive. He's dead! He's very dead as well. Dude, you... The elves got the victory, but Angmar has the last laugh. Alright, moving on to our heroes. Roll a different die. Angrod. Alright, so...
2.
Roll 2d6, and let's see what happens to him. Oh, 9! 9, flesh wound. You miss the next game. Yes. And then, Elwing. Let's see what happens to her. And 6, that is... full recovery. Excellent! She makes it! And these 4 models are the models that are left from the Rivendell force. Why don't you tell us how much experience they have left, for each of them?
The lone warrior that I left is Maglin, and he got 1 experience for participating.
Yep.
Angrod got 2 for participating and getting the win.
Yep.
Elwing got 2 for participating in the win. And then Cuthalion got 3 because he got a wound.
Woo! That's crazy. Here's the gold roll for Will and his faction. D6 plus 4, so 6 gold in total. And so Will did buy a healing salve and use it on Angrod, just so he does have 4 models for the next match that he partakes. For the forces of Angmar, there was 1 wild ward that was slain, so we need to roll a d6 to see what happened to that. We are keeping track of this warband, or battle company, just in case we decide to use it up against another faction later on in the campaign. So, that ward, d6 roll. 2. It is injured, misses the next game, so it sits out. And then we go into experience because you don't have any other injuries in here, guys. And so the orc guy here killed or wounded 2 people.
Yes.
And so he gets 2 experience from that, and 1 from participating in the battle, so it has 3. Okay. This guy here participated in the battle and has 1, so he has 2 experience, and the same thing with this warrior. Had 2 kills, as well as it participated in the battle, so it actually gets 3 experience. So nobody levels up, and you get d6 plus 1 gold. So 5 gold. Welcome, guys, to the after action report. You just saw the match between the battle company of Rivendell, led by Will, and their victory, if you want to call it that, and the forces of Angmar being led by Zach. Guys, what was your thought? First time playing battle companies?
It was good. It's with only 6 models, the game's quick, but there's still so much strategy to it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah.
Could add a bit more strategy because there's a lot less, and in one turn you can
because any time that you make it 1 wrong move, it's going to be that much more drastic because you don't have anything else really to back it up right now, and it's limited supplies. So so Rivendell got the win. And they're going back to Rivendell to report to Elrond what they encountered.
Yeah, all 3 of them survived, and 1 got injured, but...
Which you bought a healing salve.
I did get the healing salve, so I have 4.
That's interesting.
The back-to-back ones.
That was bad.
That was really bad.
That was really bad.
That was really bad.
Really bad, because the guy had 2 kills, or 1 kill.
1 kill.
1 kill, you know, so which isn't good for you, because it makes it harder now to level up. And Angmar forces...
They did pretty good.
They did pretty well. Well, you have some fast-moving wargs and some specters, so it's all helpful. Well, guys, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, ignite your hobby.